We'd been living in our house for almost 7 years. But then the earthquake hit, and it all changed. Living in Virginia, earthquakes aren't something you ever think you'll have to deal with. My husband, Gary, travels a lot for his job. He was out on the road when it all happened.
Yeah. Here.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, buddy. Quite a roller coaster, huh?
Yeah.
I had this huge welt on my arm, but I couldn't figure out how it got there. I figured it was a spider bite or something,
Oh, I'll call you back. Bye.
and didn't worry about it much after that.
Let's go inside. Scott? What is it?
Something was in here.
Someone was here?
A Birdman.
He said he'd seen a bird man, that it wasn't the first time Scott had had a nightmare or let his imagination get to him.
But there's nothing there. Okay? It was just a bad dream.
Then I heard it again.
Stay here, baby. There's nothing to be afraid of, okay? You just had a bad dream.
No, there was a Birdman in here. He poked me with the stick. Look,
I figured he'd been playing rough with some of the neighborhood kids and just forgot about it.
Why don't you come sleep with me tonight? Come on.
I really thought it was nothing to worry about. I went to drain the sink, and the stopper felt like it was stuck on something.
I'm gonna go upstairs.
There were leeches on my arm. The only explanation I could think of was that the earthquake broke the pipes, and they somehow got into our plumbing. The earthquake made this crack right through the middle of my flower beds. I took it as a sign that it was time to finally replant the backyard. I was just getting started when I hit something in the ground. It almost looked like it could be some sort of bone or skeleton.
Gary, what is it? Gary? Gary?
I heard that tapping sound again.
What are you doing? Gary, you're scaring me. Gary?
What's wrong?
Did you see him?
Wait, did you see someone too?
What do you mean, did I see it too?
I was just in Scotty's room. He yelled, and when I went in there, he was talking about some Birdman.
Oh my God. I don't know what's happening.
Okay, I'm gonna check the house.
It was still there, right where I left it. When I first found what I thought were bones, I figured it was just a buried pet. I didn't dig it out enough to see what it actually was.
That's exactly what I saw in the bedroom.
What do you think? Maybe it's just you dreamt it because you saw this earlier?
I wasn't dreaming, I was wide awake. Scott saw it too.
Listen, you know there's a logical explanation for this. I mean, there was nobody inside the house just now.
No, I don't want you to take that inside.
I really didn't want him to be worried while he was away, so I didn't push any further. Gary dismissed the mask. I called a friend of ours who's a history professor. I emailed him a picture, and he asked if he could come over and see it in person.
It's a pest mask. You've never seen this imagery before?
No. What is that?
Unbelievable. It was exactly what I had seen in our bedroom. Right down to the stick and the robe and the mask.
Plague doctors wore those during the outbreaks of the bubonic plague in Europe. They'd wear these long robes and carry sticks, poking the bodies to determine who was dead and who was still alive. There was a smallpox epidemic in the late 1700s in this area, but I don't think there were any pest houses in America.
Pest house?
Well, pest houses were basically these small huts where they locked in all the infected so they couldn't spread the disease. And they would throw leeches through their windows so they could let their own blood.
Why was there a plague mask in my backyard? I couldn't tell if it was an animal or a person, but whatever it was, it sounded like it was coming from outside.
Scott? Where are you?
There's something going on outside.
Okay, there's nothing happening. Come on.
What's going on?
Nothing. Okay, I just left the light on in the shed. Okay, go to bed.
I know I should have called the police, but what was I supposed to say?
Get up. We're going to Grandma's house.
The next day, I did something I never thought I'd do.
So you've seen and felt this entity inside the house and outside?
Yes.
I called a psychic medium for help.
That's it, huh? He's not evil. He's angry. He was at peace here. He wants to be put back where he belongs.
The psychic felt that the earthquake had disturbed the man's resting place.
You need to rebury him.
Do you really think that will make it go away?
I do. I know it sounds simple, but sometimes the simplest answers are the best ones.
Okay.
I did exactly what she told me to do. And I prayed it would be enough to make it stop.